is a national civil rights organization for Muslims. We are the largest civil rights group for Muslims. We are the only civil rights group for Muslims in Connecticut. And so I think when we talk about racial profiling or discrimination or any of these issues, I think we bring a little bit a different perspective to the table. I mean, first of all, I think what I feel like there's a divider here between us and you guys sitting up there, and it's just a perception issue. I think if we were sitting in a group, maybe you would feel a little bit that we're talking about the same. That you're not on one side versus another, because I have some complaints. I have not complaints, but I have some concerns that I would like to share with the rest of the commissioners, whom I would like to thank for hosting this event. One important element that we feel in the Muslim community that's not probably being recognized is that the issue of racial profiling, it doesn't just violates people's civil rights and civil liberties, but it also undermines our security and safety. What I mean by that is that we know from cases, from events that took place in our community, that whether it's the imam, who serves the role of a spiritual leader, like a priest or the rabbi in the community, or leaders of the community themselves, sometimes they refrain from contacting law enforcement to discuss whether important issues of safety and security, or even to report incidents of hate, sometimes even crime, incidents that happen to their Islamic Center, their members. It's just because when you tell them why didn't you contact them, they simply say that, well, I really don't want them to come and start investigating us. And this is from experience that we see. So there is an issue of reporting that goes to the heart of this matter. And that is why I think collecting the data from the other side is extremely important. Also, the chief was saying it would have been easier if the officer could approach the person and ask for their race. I mean, that is not, that actually undermines the whole issue. The problem is the perception of the officer. Was there any bias when they made that traffic stop or when they approached this person? That is what we're trying to get to the matter. I mean, if you just ask them what difference does it make if I think of myself as white or black or brown? What makes a difference is that did that go into the factor of the officer stopping me? My daughter just turned 18 and she just got her license. I'm worried, every time she leaves the house about, she's still young, driving, and hopefully she won't get into accidents. But I'm also worried about her being stopped just because she wears the headscarf. She's easily identified as somebody who's a Muslim, not necessarily Middle Eastern. And I have a little bit of an issue with that term. Not every person who's a Muslim is from the Middle East. As a matter of fact, the largest segment of our community, Muslim community, are African American Muslims who have never been in the Middle East. So I think we have an issue with that, just that it's like almost you're reinforcing the understanding that Muslims come from the Middle East. They do not, actually Islam is a religion that comes from over there, not here, which is not true. Historically speaking, Islam and Muslims have been in this country even before the founding of this country. So I think we have a little bit of issue with that. We're not saying that this work is very valuable, that the advisory board is doing. I think we are in a better place now than what we've been before. I think the collection of data is going to make things probably clearer, makes us understand the issue of racial profiling a little bit better, and hopefully we can come up with better solutions. I think training is extremely important. I think it is absolutely necessary for us to make sure that we identify the best resources to train law enforcement officers, the best trainers, the best methods and tools. I think to do this is extremely important, how to deal with this issue. Because to tell you the truth, our organization did a lot of work, so did other organizations, about many of the trainings that law enforcement do, specifically about the religion of Islam. And we found there is big, huge problems, even at the national level. Big amount of money is going to actually Islamophobes who are attacking Muslims and Islam, who are training the law enforcement officers. So we need to make sure that when we do the training, we rely on resources. What is our best resource for training? The community itself, the Muslim community itself. We need to build a better relationship with them. We need to make sure that the imam or the members of the community do not have a problem picking up the phone and calling their local police officer, even to discuss issues of parking with them. Many of these issues come up, and the Muslim community is the last person or the last entity to call or to think even calling is the police or law enforcement. And when you ask them why, it's like, we don't want any problems. So we go back to the issue of perception, we go back to the issue of we must take into consideration the safety and security that we can best address by building a better relationship between law enforcement and our community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ndidi Moses.
I just want